They should be able to hear us now.
Woohoo.
Yahoo!
All right. Audio checks, I think, should be good.
All right.
Hell
I
yeah.
think we're vibing.
Hell yeah. We
Full
vibing and
vibing.
jiving.
Welcome to the Blue Reeves Podcast, episode number 297. I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kels. We talk about video games live on youtube.com/AppBlueReeves every Tuesday, sometime in the evening, and we go off rails a lot. So we talk about a lot of other stuff, which we will go off rails this week because I have something I want to talk about. Before we get to that, though, gentlemen, how have you guys been?
Pretty good.
Yeah, same. Pretty damn good. It's been a nice week.
Hell yeah. Did you guys hear about, what was it? The Outdoor Boys?
Nope.
Yeah, but that's not a channel I'm familiar with, so it's not my niche.
It's a great channel. I love watching it. But yeah, they it's so David, it's just this family channel, mostly the dad. The dad does like 90% of it. But he'll go out and he lives in Alaska. He just does these crazy wilderness things where he's just like, all right, I'm gonna go sleep outside without a tent in the middle of like crazy snow.
Actually, I think I have seen a video. Didn't he like make an igloo or some shit?
Yes, that's a really cool video too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just straight
Yeah, I
up
think
found
I've
a
seen that
spot,
one.
dug like 8 feet down, and just made himself a home in there for a day.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool channel, but announced a retirement where they're like, yeah, I'm not necessarily liking how he's getting recognized so much, how it's getting exhausting, and then raising his family and that too. You know, his kids want to be YouTubers, but he's like, yeah, I need to step back myself though, because dude put out like over 1,000 videos. He was like consistent every weekend, but I think he blew up mostly this past year where he exploded to like 12 million subscribers.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, but he bounced out. I think he's made enough money that it's like, yeah, now we're chilling for the rest for whatever. But cool channel, definitely a good backlog of videos to watch. So shout outs to them.
Yeah, that's the genius about it too. Once you make enough videos, you can just kind of dip out and just
Residuals,
Like a
baby.
passive
another
income,
channel.
yeah.
Yeah, and his kids are gonna have some there. I'm sure they'll probably get enough of a boost there. He said he has videos made, but he's gonna hold true to his retirement and just hold them until the end of the year, which I think is good. Kind of wean people off the idea of you for a while, but good for them. I know it's a little bittersweet when some YouTubers retire, just because like, well, there goes my content, but can't help but be stoked for them. You know, like hell yeah, go do your thing.
Yeah,
You know,
good
at least they're like getting like a formal retirement announcement. You know, so many YouTube
Not an
channels
apology
I follow
video?
just fucking
luck. Right.
thankfully it's not an apology video either, but you know, so many YouTube channels I follow just kind of fucking disappear, and then randomly 3 years later you get a new upload and then disappear again for another 2 years.
they come
just like my dad.
well. It's because they show up and they realize that they are not going to get nearly the amount of same views or money, and they dip back out again because it's like, bro, well, you disappeared for a while, like you fucked up.
You lose
mean,
all your
yeah.
motion.
I mean, YouTube is insanely unforgiving with that now with the algorithm. There's a YouTuber I follow that used to do content very regularly, and they were working on like one massive video that took them 4 months to do.
No,
And just the release of that, yeah, they're just
it's got to
fucking dead in
be
the water from
in
doing that.
the right niche, right? So people like do those like huge documentaries on people, but unless you're pumping that out weekly, you got to be really good. It's got to be like an hour at least, like kind of like documentary where you're getting the views on that. But it's weird. I like analyzing how the algorithm does things lately, because over the years, especially even while we've been doing this podcast, the way the algorithm works is very different. But it's interesting. I still kind of want to write that train one day and see if I can pull through on that, because I feel like I have an idea. I have been watching. I've watched like Ryan Trahan, and I watch like those kind of videos where they're kind of have some theme, like trying out every menu item at these 5S restaurants to measure. Like I do a lot of those. I watched one a couple days ago where this dude just called random numbers until he could find one that wants to hang out with him. And he found someone that wanted to hang out with him, which is funny. But I just saw one from this YouTube channel, Hunter Williams, and they made five 5 fake commercials to try to air on TV, and it was one of them was what was it? Because his weatherman has more fans than him, so he wants to try to get bigger than his weatherman. So he made 5 videos. One was like a missing persons ad. One was like a political campaign. One was a documentary expose. One was like a Disney Channel like ad for his channel. So he did all this, but it was so funny. Just like he's got a dumbass set of friends that have like very much my humor where they go through things, which I thought was funny. But I was gonna make that into a video assignment next year though, because I'm like, it'd be funny making the kids have to like film one of those 30-second commercials, like make a missing person ask for your friend and see how that works out. I thought it'd be funny. Anyway, any other random tidbits you guys got? Because I want to jump into something personally that I did this weekend.
I mean, I did Eurovision watch along group this weekend.
Was that as crazy as the last one?
You know, it was not necessarily crazy, but there was an ass clench moment for a massive thing. So, once again, Israel was competing this year. There wasn't as much behind the scenes insanity that there was last year. But when it came time for voting, this is where things got interesting. Because the way that the voting is done in Eurovision is that they have all of the participating countries kind of give votes to other countries. You can never vote for your own country. And then after that, they then have fan votes. And they made a change to the way that voting is done this year with the fan votes, which it used to be that you could only do 20 votes per just cell phone number. So you had to have a different phone number to kind of register to vote and all over again. They made a change this year where it was 20 votes per credit card. And there was an insane uptick in the amount of voting that happened this year. And of course, the way the Eurovision works every year is whoever wins, that's the country that has to host next year. So we get to the end of all the jury voting. And you see, a bunch of the usual suspects you would expect to see kind of at the top. There were some, very good, strong bangers this year. They were all at the top. Then there was like Israel all the way down in like 20th. They get like 300 points from fan voting, which puts them unanimously in first. They go through, and the way they do it is they reveal the votes in order of least amount of votes to highest. So you're watching as all these other countries are failing to get up. And it's not until basically Armenia, who was in third place, not Armenia, excuse me. Austria. It was Austria. Austria was in third place, and you watch as they just barely got enough points to eke out over Israel.
Interesting.
So there was a moment where when it pans through the crowd of all the participants and the country representatives, you just see this look of fucking panic on everyone's face as they realize, oh fuck, the fan vote might be sending us to Israel next year.
Unfortunate.
So it's kind of fascinating that because of that sudden little change they did, there was just surprisingly more votes for Israel. Again, technically, your phone number and credit card shouldn't be able to vote for within your country. It's always supposed to be voting for other countries, but come on now. We know what really happens here. So yeah, just a weird, hilarious, fascinating thing where there wasn't as much drama as there was like a lot of people having an oh shit moment as they realized they were about to go to Israel next year.
Part of me wonders if it so you kind of insinuated it was like people within the country voting. What if it's just trolls? They're like, oh, let's send them to a fucking active war zone.
That's kind of what I was low key wondering too. Is that either it was a lot of rigging the system from within the country, because you got to figure that's just in the grand scheme of things.
Tourism.
Someone did the math on the Eurovision subreddit, and it was the equivalent of like $40,000 that was spent to get them that many votes. That's a drop in the bucket for a country's fucking advertisements to the come visit our country kind of thing. It would be like getting the Olympics coming to your country for 40 grand.
Right.
Like it's that level of inbound revenue. So it's kind of one of those fascinating things where it's like, I can see that, but there is also the theory that maybe they decide to do it for the lulz at the same time.
Exactly. That's kind of what
Yeah.
my internet poison brain was going to.
Yep.
So yeah, there was that level of shenanigans. No other real big thing besides that I can think of.
Nice.
Kels?
Yeah, pretty quiet week. I did finally hear back, and I got my official invite to play test for a TCG that I play a shit ton of. So
Hell
that's
yeah.
really
Ooh.
cool. I get to see a lot of goodies. I get to put in my input, and it's really awesome to see how this works on the back end of things.
Good
Nice.
shit, man.
Yeah. Other than that, chilling.
So, I had a tattoo appointment and they canceled me for a second time. So it's like new artist time.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I understood the first time. First time they were like sick. I'm like, okay. This time they're like, hey, the machine wasn't working or whatever. And I was like frustrated because I blocked out my whole day for that. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I respond back with, well, what did the day works? And they don't get back to me. Like they're very flaky on response. I'm like, all right, I'm good. If you responded back to me immediately with like, hey, I'll book you in like as soon as possible and like whatever, I'd be like, all right, cool. But like, nah. So new artist time.
Yep.
But
Is it someone that you've been to before? Or
no,
is it
I
just,
had
like,
I had
someone
a
new?
friend have them. But then I was talking to this other person who just followed me randomly on Instagram, so we've been chatting a little bit. They're pretty cool, but they have a lot of tattoos, and they're like, "What artist is it?" If you want me asking, and they're like, "Yeah, I know them. They're pretty flaky like that sometimes." I'm like, "All right,"
Mm.
and then she recommended me to another artist of hers, and they're like, they're also a little flaky, but they give you genuine reason as to why, and they get back to you immediately. I'm like, all right, that's fine. If you get back to me like right away and like have an actual reason, cool. I just hate the ask like you cancel on me and then don't get back to me for like a few days. I'm like, no, just that should be like
Yeah.
immediate. Like, what were you doing with your time otherwise at that point? You know?
Right. Be a little bit more professional about it. That's all
yeah.
I ask.
Which especially being a tattoo artist, I feel like that goes a long way because people give recommendations like that, and it's like you have to be on it. But
well, it's kind of like a hairdresser and shit like that. If they're good at it and they're prompt and they're professional, yeah, you'll send everyone there.
Yep, exactly. So had the full day, and I'm already tired. I'm like, I'm kind of having a lazy day then. And then I'm like, you know what I think I want to do today? I know that Weekend movie looks like shit. And so I was like gonna go at like there's like a 4 o'clock showing or something. I took a nap and I overslept that one. I'm like, oh, there's 7:30 showing. But I look at my phone and a good buddy of mine is in town at that moment for his friend's graduation. He was like, hey, you want to hit like a bar tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. What are you doing tonight? He's like, nothing. I'm like, you want to see that really shitty Weekend movie? He's like, absolutely. I'm like, cool, because I really don't want to go alone. So hit the dude up. We got a really late showing for that. And I was like, how much have you heard about this movie? He's like, not really anything other than like, it's pretty rough. I'm like, it debuted at 0% Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's since climbed at 17% last I heard. So good job on that. I've saw random clips of it. The most famous one, the shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I was like, all right, bro, you're acting. But anyway, sit down. We're getting ready for it. And it's like The Weeknd watched an A24, had an A24 marathon one weekend, and is like, I want to make that. Because it tries
I need it
so hard to be this artsy, meaningful movie. Which, by the way, Do you know the movie It Comes at Night?
Yeah.
Nope.
Same writer and director as that, which is kind of like understandable, but also shocking as fuck. Because it does try to act like an A24 ass movie, dude. Acting is fucking not a thing. The story plot sucks. There was one scene in it that may have been the worst scene I've ever seen, and it was not due to like bad acting. It was like it was not needed, and it was obscenely fucking loud. Like it was so loud for so long. I was speaking audibly. I was literally going like, "Oh my god." And I'm looking with like a shock on my face. I couldn't hear myself speak. My buddy next to me is like trying to lean over and tell me something. I can't hear him. It's that fucking loud. Obscene. Got to the end of the movie and got out there, and we were just, it was funny because there were definitely some people laughing in the theater alongside of us too. So all right, cool. So there are a lot of I think a couple guys brought their girlfriends in. There was a group of girls in there watching, but there was definitely on the guys just like kind of cackling here or there because it was pretty bad. Jenna Ortega needs
Have
to
you
fire her
watched The
manager.
Idol?
What?
Have you watched The Idol, the HBO show?
I've
that he
not.
did? It's really fucking bad. It's like dastardly bad. And it's the same guy who did Euphoria, and I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Euphoria. And The Idol is just really, really bad
That's so.
because it's the same situation. Weekend's in there, and I think if it was written by different people and didn't have the Weekend in it, it might be a good show because all the other acting is from like either okay to decent, but the Weekend is just fucking terrible.
He had that one cameo in Uncut Gems and thought he was a star, dude.
Right? He
Uncut
thought
Gems.
bro thought he was made for this shit.
And he apparently he does like really good storytelling via music, but this was just not the fucking move. I was like, after I stood up and walked, I was walking down. The movie's called Hurry Up Tomorrow, and I was like, hurry up to the end of the movie, dude. I'm so over it. Actually wild. Worst movie I've seen all year. I needed something on the bottom though, because like right now, I think it's a Minecraft movie that's on the bottom, which is like it's a Zoomer ass movie, right? But even then, I'm like, I need some actual trash on the bottom, you know? I need to watch at least one
Yeah,
bad
you can't
movie.
put Chicken Jockey at the bottom.
Yeah, I need one trash ass movie, and this one got it. So whenever I tell my students, you could be as good as you want, it's about the people you know. This is kind of my example where it's like they got money to make this film. I don't know how.
Somehow, some way. And another thing, The Idol is kind of shot the same way. It was definitely shot in like a lo-fi, trying to make it look like an A24 kind of artsy film.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the obsession is with that. Especially
Well,
when you can't do it.
They want the prestige of it, and to be fair, like the guy that directed It Comes at Night, that was an A24 film. So like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna do it again. No, you couldn't, brother. I am so sorry. And I guess Barry, what's his name, and Jenna Ortega,
Barry Keegan.
yeah, they both like really wanted to be in this film, and I'm like, probably shouldn't have. Probably should not have.
Should just thought about that.
Yeah. Dude, Jenna Ortega is fire her fucking manager. She's had like repeated stinkers, which is like not someone that needs to be doing that at the pace you're at. You need to be hitting that while you have the upswing. But what do I know?
Unicorn?
What was that?
You didn't like Death of a Unicorn?
I hadn't seen that one.
Ah, come on.
I'm curious. There's someone that I know on my Facebook that claims and wants to sue that A24 stole their film with that movie.
Stole that one?
Yes.
Yeah, David knows who I'm talking about.
Hmm.
I'm kind of curious to
I got
watch
sent
that.
a thing about that.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch the movie and see how similar it is. A24 has not been striking out as much lately. It's like it was kind of like AMC
it was like
phase or MCU like phase 3 for a second for them. It was like, all right, every movie they put out I could just trust, but
Well, it still kind of is. Like they're kind of like on that downswing because I remember it was just a few years ago. It was before Civil War came out. They put out like this thing talking about how they wanted to do bigger franchise films
Right,
and they
right,
wanted to
right.
do like sequels and stuff. And I
Yeah.
think that's what fucking happened. They got
Which
too lost in the sauce.
probably. Which speaking of, I'm not gonna pull it down. I'm lazy, even though it takes 2 seconds. I got the Past Life screenplay book.
Nice.
I bought. I also bought the Everything Everywhere All at Once screenplay book. I didn't realize I had already bought that a few months ago, so I have 2 copies of it now, and they're kind of expensive. But um, the girlfriend kind of convinced me, and I'm like, all right, the one copy's gonna go in the classroom because all the kids like looking at those books, but I don't trust them with like my collection of books, right? So I'm like, all right,
Right.
Yeah.
the second copy, even though they're expensive as fuck, $60 each. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll keep it in the classroom because out of all of them, I feel like Everything Everywhere All at Once would be the one that they'd probably resonate with the most and understand that one because they've watched that one versus they ain't watching The Lighthouse, they ain't watching The Lobster or fucking Moonlight, even though they should. But they've
Killing
seen
of the
Everywhere All at
Sacred
Once.
Deer.
But yeah, I love A24.
Yeah,
I'm still
I'll-
still Dream Production Studio, but they've definitely been on a downswing. Neon's been kicking
I
it
feel
though.
like I was just about to say Neon Aura farmed the shit out of them. Took all the essence. that they
Honestly, I
had.
feel like I said, I would sell my right knee to direct and write a play or a movie for A24, but I've always said just A24. I would put Neon on there now. I think Neon's one of the ones that I would sell my baby for on that one.
Oh, for sure. They've definitely stepped up to the plate.
It's like A24
And,
kind of started phasing out, and Neon's like, all right, we'll take it. Wink.
Yeah, it's really interesting too. Even like the Raka Raka boys, their new movie's coming out next week, and that one's not I think they did A24 last time for Talk to Me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and this next one, it's not A24, so it's like, ooh, did they just really miss out, or what's going on here?
I don't know. I trust them still, but I can't say for certain on every single thing anymore. Which I mean,
Right.
that rarely ever happens. Like I'm sure, give it a couple years, and Neon's gonna start having a couple misses, but everyone does. Still love A24 with all my heart. Just would like them to stop greenlighting every single thing, unless it's my thing. A24, you hear me? I'll give you a solid movie. Don't worry about them. Stop giving other movies chances like that. Shoutouts. But yeah, that was Hurry Up Tomorrow. Don't watch it. I feel like there was something else. Nope. David, what did you get
Nope.
this week?
Hell yes. Pre-order came in and some goodies from VGP came in. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is going to be good to go back to revisit CVS 2 at some points. Also, my goodies from VGP. I got the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with all the
Did
DLC
it.
on cart.
The Mad Lad did it.
Nice.
And then I got the Pokemon Violet with all the DLC on cart.
You get arms?
Eventually, I'll go. No.
Okay, that's one of their patched game cards too.
I might get it. I don't know. I didn't really care for ARMS.
But it's about the
We
collection.
gotta play it
David.
before Legs comes out.
It's true.
Okay. Unironically, that'd be fucking hilarious if they actually did a sequel to ARMS called Legs. You gotta strap it to your ankle and just fucking kick.
The next one is head, next one's shoulder, the next one's knees, and the last one's toes.
Yep.
The perfect collection.
Yep. Anything else, David?
Voltron.
No, that's all
Exodia,
I got.
Kels.
I got one thing, but I'm not going to show it yet because I am getting it signed this week, so I'll show it next week.
Ooh,
Yeah.
exciting.
Fancy.
Got one game this week. I got the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Ooh,
Early Days
that's what I
collection.
did.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna play Dungeon Dice Monsters, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could just play it on my Switch now. So
Yep.
I'm literally buying that for Dungeon Dice Monsters to play after this podcast.
Good shit.
Hell
Hell
yeah. David, what'd you play this week?
Hell yeah. More blueprints. That's just going on until I complete the second half of the game. And then aside from that, put some more time into Expedition 33. God damn. I finally got my first boss defeated without taking damage. It was a very rewarding fight. Took me like 5 reloads to get it, but I got there. Without spoiling anything, I have my overworld transport device.
Nice. Mon
Uh,
ami.
Yeah, I'm hunting for some rocks. But before getting to that, I've been exploring the world map, which kind of just say as as a little aside, feels so great exploring a fucking world map again. I don't know what it is with modern RPGs not having world maps, but like, fucking A, I missed having a world map.
I'm so excited for you to get to the next part and see like how everything unfolds because you'll see, it's amazing. Once you hit
Uh,
act 2, everything changes. It's so cool.
oh, I'm fucking down. I'm just starting to get to a point where a lot of the combat's opening up.
Yeah.
Roulette is a fucking beast of a Pictos. I initially looked at it. I'm like, there's no way. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be, because my luck is I'd probably always deal 50%. But I'm like, well, statistically, even if I just hit it 1 out of like 5 times, it's still more than enough to. All right, let's do that. I'm regularly hitting fucking damage cap.
Right.
With that goddamn Pictos. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't respect your game.
I didn't realize you knew ball.
But no, it's fucking great. Just the combat creativity. Every like I kind of suspected, the more and more Pictos you get access to, the more it opens up, and I'm sitting on a hearty amount of them. The only thing I feel kind of not necessarily frustrated by, because it's the kind of what you would expect in that situation. But I was a little disappointed that I explored the world before doing more of the story, because I found the hidden arena for the Gestrels, and I did that first before doing the regular tournament for the Gestrels. So I went into that fully loaded with all of the solo buffs and just fucking rolled my face on the controller. But goddamn, I'm
So
fucking loving this game so much.
so at the Gestrel arena, like the actual one, not the side one that you go to, who did you solo it with?
I did it with Mayel because I was like,
Perfect.
she was my weakest character at the time, so I was like, I'll send you in. This might be a challenge, at least, if I send you in there.
Well, you can play it with all the different party members, right? And
Yep.
whichever one you beat it with, you'll get a specific weapon for that character. And supposedly, Mael has the best like weapon that you get from it.
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy at work, and he said that the weapon that you get from Mayel is one that you would normally, if you didn't get it then, is one you would have to wait until basically the very end of the game to have another shot at it. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
no.
I'm glad I did that then, I guess. It certainly
Another
gives
thing
you.
you're good. I was just gonna say the Gestrels. Those are like one of my new favorite like fantasy like creatures, like races or
Yes.
whatever. So far, they're so fucking good. I love them.
I absolutely adore them. Just it feels like, in a weird way, just that little Gestrel village feels like the closest we've gotten to a real feeling of like a Star Wars village in a fantasy game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it feels like you just walked up to a rebel base and you're just yapping with everyone there.
And I love the little detail of how so many things in there are not markers. And I sent you to a link talking about it. But the creators really didn't want to do a mini map system because they were so afraid that people wouldn't be looking at anything and would just be following the quest markers, which I'll admit, I'm usually that guy that does that sometimes. But it is kind of one of those things that it's nice how many like side quests have no real indication that they're even hiding there or that they're going to be a recurring thing. So it kind of puts you back in that like early RPG day of, no, just fucking talk to every NPC. You do not leave this area until you talk to everyone and you talk to them multiple times to be sure.
Until they start repeating
Right.
dialogue.
Exactly.
Or they start
And in the
like when you
case of the
find
trash can.
yeah, like or like whenever you talk to them and all of a sudden they don't have voice lines, it's just reading. It's like, okay, I hit the end of it.
Yep.
Wish it was an elegant way for you to tell you whether or not you were done.
Yeah, hey bro, get the fuck out of here. They don't want yap.
So
Yeah, so
But
that's all I've
good
played.
times, good times.
yeah,
Kelt.
I've been right there with you, playing through some more Expedition. I've been taking it a little bit more slow, so I need to start hitting it heavy again before you catch up to me. 'Cause I'm not that much further ahead, but yeah, I'm I'm at the point like after Act One, everything kind of opens up, and you get a whole lot more opportunity to explore, new areas to explore around, and so that's what my brain's been going to. I just have to search every nook and cranny of the goddamn map, and
Mm.
I've already ran into so many different like creatures or side additional boss fights that have just fucking throttled my ass. So it's like, oh shit, if I just got to this area and they're already beating my ass, what am I in store for next?
I fucking
Yeah,
love that feeling though, because especially where the game really does reward you if you're able to fucking get good at the dodging and parrying. Because
mhm.
I tried the sheep as soon as I was able to fucking come across that, and that took me a good half hour to fucking beat that boss. But god damn, I just wanted to fucking beat it because I understood its fucking dodge timing, and I
Right.
was determined to win regardless of how fucking long it took me.
Yeah, I did that too. I sat there for like half an hour doing it. And like, this was taking too long. I got frustrated, so I left. And then I came back after a few hours, and I'm just like killing him in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, especially after you get Seal, and it's like, oh, you have what he's weak. Oh, okay. I don't have to just keep waiting every few turns to fucking get Lune's ability to do the fucking AoE bullshit. All right.
Exactly. But yeah, no. Again, amazing game. I'm never gonna stop praising this game. Everyone needs to play it. If you haven't played a turn-based RPG in forever, this is your perfect chance to hop back in.
Hell yeah.
On
Yep.
Game Pass, it's cheap. It's not a fucking $70 game. These people deserve your money. Give it all to them because we'll have I think some news stories coming up about really shitty game companies that don't deserve your money.
This is true.
But other than that, I've been playing through some more of the Star Wars Fortnite event. Really cool, really
Speaking
fun.
of shitty companies,
Right, shitty companies, but goddamn, do they know how to service underserved fan bases? That's the meme I've been seeing kick up because so they just introduced like the mini battle pass for Grievous, the Grievous skin, and they gave us like post cyborg or pre cyborg
right back.
Grievous, and like the whole fandom's like, what the fuck? This is something that Lucasfilms and Star Wars is just not giving us in forever. And Fortnite, Epic, they're just like, yeah, we'll go ahead and indulge your fantasies. Here's Grievous before he's a fucking cyborg, as is just full on Kalish form. It's like, okay,
that
well,
is kind of sweet.
yeah, it's like, and they give us Darth Jar Jar. Jar Jar's in the battle pass, or he's part of the event, and there's just a lot of cool shit going on. Besides the AI Darth Vader, fuck that. But yeah, no, been playing those. I played a little bit of Rivals, not near enough because just anytime I like boot up a live service game like that, I'm just like, ooh, I could be playing Expedition.
Like low key, because like I was going through and I was playing the Pokemon TCG proper week every day, and then I kind of dropped to weekly, and it is that. It's like fucking the last year in calendar year has given us so many fucking bangers of games, and I'm like, I'm not getting any of these done if I just keep committing to a live game.
For sure. And that's the one like really terrible thing about them, even if they are well produced or well made live service games, is that they just suck so much out of you and take so much away from like actual art that's going on because it's just a fucking black hole. It's just a pit
Yep.
where things enter and don't ever leave.
And they're fun. It's always a great time, but it's just
Yeah.
fucking I got a backlog I gotta get through.
Yeah, it's fun, it's a good time, but there's nothing like substantive about it. It's like this is vapid like enjoyment. Like, right? Like you're getting your fun,
Exactly.
you're getting out, but you're not getting a story. You're not getting feelings. You're not feeling something from it, which is my
You're
big issue
not
with it.
getting something that's gonna make you leave something for the next to come.
Right, for those who come next.
Hell yeah.
God damn. Gustav the Goat.
So, is that
Speaking
it?
of Charlie Cox, holy shit! What a
Shouts to-
Yeah.
first time voice acting too. Like holy shit, dude! How the fuck?
Low key, am I the only one that uses the baguette hairstyle just because he has to wear the sunglasses and it just makes me feel like he's angry French daredevil all the time?
See, I haven't done like any of the outfit swaps or anything yet, just because like after playing a few hours and then you start getting stuff, it always just feels weird to me whenever you like change their hairstyle or change their outfit or something. I just always like playing that vanilla kind of playthrough first, and then I'll go fuck with shit
Nah.
like
Now my L looks like a fucking troll doll right now.
that.
So I got her with the Gestrel hair there.
I've seen one where they made Lune look like Miss Casey from Severance.
Hell yeah.
And it was a meme. It was like, your Audi's really good at parrying.
Love it.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing. And what have you been up to?
Doing more Marvel Rivals, having to get all that stuff knocked out. I just got the Wolverine stuff done. Been playing a lot of Spider-Man lately, so that's been going. Yeah. Doing Berteo and Rivals. I'm gonna go through and knock out Bramble. Yeah. It's just a matter of, if I get home, I just don't want to do anything. So after this next week and a half, I'm gonna start knocking. The only road trip I had potentially was going to the world's largest gas station over in Texas. Let's see how that goes, and then I might have like a week in California, maybe. Otherwise, I have nothing else. So I'm thinking of making myself just a challenge to see how much of the backlog I can bum rush before work starts back up again. So we'll see. I'm wondering what to do on that end.
The only bad thing with that is you'll have your current backlog, and then next thing you know, Switch 2 is going to be out.
Well, Switch 2 is like out, like, yeah.
And then there will be no games.
Switch 2 is out like 4 or 5 days after I'm out. So it's get about a week to myself, and then and to be fair, it's nothing really big on Switch 2 out the gate, like story wise. So I'm gonna be chilling with Mario Kart.
Metroid not coming out?
I haven't played 2, or I haven't played any of the Prime games actually. I don't know why I started at 2. I was curious
They're
to try.
phenomenal.
I was curious to
This man
try.
had a GameCube, and you haven't been playing the Metroid games?
I didn't like Metroid Prime when I first played on GameCube. I think I got spoiled right away with Halo. The control scheme for Halo on an Xbox controller demolishes Metroid Prime on the GameCube controller. Like, no one could argue that Metroid Prime on the GameCube controller is not
No,
played.
but they're different games.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm talking like just first person wise and just controlling it, it felt funky. I do have I have the remaster, which I was planning on playing. I was hoping that it would have been a triple pack. That probably would have got me going. Because I know Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered exists somewhere. I just don't know why they never came out.
Give us
Yeah,
Metroid
the only
and
triple
go.
pack is for the Wii.
Because it makes sense.
Bring the DS games over too. I love those.
Federation Force got
Yeah,
a bad rap.
cowards,
Even
do
though
it.
I didn't play it, I just know they got a bad rap because people were just being whiny.
People be whiny, never.
They do be whiny.
And besides, will Metroid 4 even be like a connected to the other games type thing situation?
I don't know.
It's
I
probably
imagine.
I imagine
I'd
it's
imagine
gonna be one of those
just gonna be like-
games though where you're gonna get a lot of callbacks that feel very satisfying. Which whenever that happens,
like,
I
you'll
get
probably
bummed
see
out.
Names and stuff, but it's usually like, oh, Samus is in a new area and there's something going on. Go find out what's
Sure.
going on.
I do want to play Prime though, still eventually. Okay, I think that was all on that end. Before we go on to other stuff, there's a couple of stories I wanted to mention, or at least point out. So really quick, this isn't a story, but I did want to share this with you guys. I saw this is actually hilarious. A toy company was doing Baldur's Gate 3 miniatures, and that's how they look. David, go ahead and give that a click there.
Yeah, I seen that earlier.
Yeah, that
It legit looks like whenever the person got commissioned to repaint the picture of Christ. That's what it reminded me of.
So,
Holy fuck! That looks like I did it.
well,
Yeah,
as a developer said, it compared it to a 5-year-old's
Holy
painting.
shit!
Yeah, and
Holy
that's with
fuck.
kids too. That's the hero clicks people. Like, how the fuck does this get...
Yeah, so they're getting full refunds on that. Would you guys like to explain to the people out there what it looks like?
It looks like
Holy
Play-Doh just
fuck!
mashed together. It doesn't even look like a fucking figure.
It looks
so-
like a goddamn travesty, is what it fucking looks.
So
Like,
look,
holy
on
shit! This
my-
looks like some kid's first Warhammer painting.
on my screen right now. Actually, let me see. Can I get a zoom on that? And there you go. It's not nearly it's not formatted yet, but you get an idea. So there's the game,
Here's what they're supposed to look like. I
and
put
that's what it
some, like,
looks like.
Jesus Christ!
So that's the thing. Next thing on my own personal docket before I let you guys go crazy with it. Do you have the Borderlands 4 quote that happened earlier today?
Absolutely not.
So, a fan, rightfully so, mentioned Randy Pitchford saying they're concerned about having to pay $80 for Borderlands 4. Fair, game's popular. That's expensive price, so people are like, "Hey, don't know if I can pay that or whatever." Randy Pitchford is not a very elegant person.
Did he say something along the lines of, you know what, like Sea of Bones, we're a quadruple A game?
No, try to think of another thing you might say. Besides like that, or go fuck yourself.
Watch me do this sleight of hand to steal the money from you.
It's
he
not
said
that.
I thought she was doing a magic trick, and I wanted to figure out how she was doing.
Unfortunately, it's not that
I
either.
swear she was 18, officer.
It was the actual answer is E. He said, "quote If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen."
Wow. What a cunt. Jesus Christ.
And then,
Holy fuck, what a fucker.
the
audacity.
Devolver Digital quoted that, tweeted
Holy
that saying,
fuck.
"You're gonna be able to buy Myco Punk for you and your 3 friends, all for the price of one copy of Borderlands 4." So,
Good.
shouts to Devolver.
'em.
Devolver always going the way. Yeah. Yeah.
What an ignorant piece of shit. Fucking hell.
Yeah. When you're already like on bad terms with the internet, you should not say that.
Yeah, you should probably just
Oh,
shut
but
the
it's
fuck
so
up.
easy. People love nothing more than fucking opening their mouths. It's so much fun to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes for good content. At least.
Sometimes it fights back too. Anyway, shout out to Randy Pitchford doing God's work out there.
Fuck
Yeah.
Randy Pitchford.
Why don't you go be a fucking idiot elsewhere, bro?
With that's my docket. David, what you got?
I mean, we can talk real quick about how shitty Bungie is.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
probably should.
Marathon is fucked.
Yeah, Marathon went from being a game I was very excited for to holy shit, there's nothing that's going to be salvageable
By the
out
way,
of this game.
We did a big event for my kids, the ones that are graduating. We had tug of war, and you could tell I got really into it. We won this round, but I gave myself a gnarly rope burn, which was not fun the first 2 days. It's better now. I can touch it without fucking cringing like a motherfucker. But the first day, if you touch my arm anywhere in this vicinity, fucking mad stinging. Speaking of stinging, yeah, Marathon's fucked. So
And then there was another thing that came. Oh, God.
I want to say this with all due respect. Bungie
Is
is
that
not a
respect
very
due?
well-run company. It never has been. Every time you go back and look at like stories, I've dug into 1 billion stories about Halo, like the behind the scenes. It was like fluke upon fluke upon fluke of just things happening to work out, right? Like Halo 2 was made in a year. The demo for Halo 2 was smoke and mirrors. Like I explained before, they're playing that and they were like sweating buckets because if you took the wrong turn or like looked the wrong way, it crashed the whole thing. So like that thing is like straight up just like a dumpster fire like with scotch tape, not even duct tape, like scotch tape. Um, Bungie's never been a well run company. And so when they got bought out, yeah, it's interesting because Destiny was doing all right. But even, did you hear about that lawsuit they have with Destiny right now?
No.
So
Well, like going back to what you were saying, like they're never well run. It's the same thing with Destiny. Destiny
Yeah.
was rebooted like a year or two before it was even released,
Yep.
after like having 4 or 5 years in the oven.
Yeah, Destiny said, "Hey, we're a 10-year game," and literally 6 months later, here's Destiny 2.
So here's the funny thing. So Destiny 2 locks away content, which I think is the most obscene thing ever. Like
Yeah.
I've
So
wanted
they
to
call it
play.
sunsetting.
Yeah, I've wanted to play Destiny 2 a lot because I didn't really fuck with Destiny 1, but I've heard, especially early on, right? People were kind of jazzed about it.
See, I was the opposite. I love Destiny 1. I put like over 1,000 hours
Yep.
into it, probably close to 2,000. I raided every week, twice a week. I had
Vault of
backup
Glass.
characters. Vault of Glass was like a perfect raid in my eyes. It's so fucking good.
I've never played a
Force of
single raid
Oryx
in
did
Destiny, which is
that.
I missed out.
Oh, the raids were phenomenal. Just that
heard.
was the reason to play Destiny.
I've heard.
The PvP was fine, but goddamn, the raids were.
Yeah, I was a Crucible PvP guy, and then the raids were just fucking top notch.
Destiny
Everything
had
else,
like
you
had a good swagger going on, but
Mhm.
and the fact they sunset content that you paid for is egregious to me. That's super egregious to me.
Yeah, it's super egregious, and it's stuff that you earn through like trials and tribulations. Like you go through a raid,
Yep.
you get that rare drop for it, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, we're taking that out. Sorry."
So here's the fun part about this lawsuit. So someone claims Destiny sold or stole their story. Okay, cool. Okay, lawsuit time. Bungie can't provide the court documents because they sunset the content and they cannot get it back. Like it is currently incompatible with the current version they're running. So they pulled out like some YouTube video with like 2 hours of gameplay. Judge threw it out and said, "No, I'm not watching this. Give me the content." So Bungie's
Holy
fucked.
fuck!
Bungie's fucked. Like
Yeah, I've
Bungie's
seen a thing.
is mad.
Supposedly they can be held in contempt of court for it and like be held liable for destroying evidence. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, they're fucked right now because they'd have to like make a whole new build of the game and go through, and they literally can't. So
You know,
It-
say what you will about Blizzard, and I certainly say many things about Blizzard. Truly, the smartest idea they ever had was the legacy servers and just spinning up every just instanced version of Warcraft throughout the years and be like, here you go play it like it was back then, and being able to do that with their fucking
that'd be so fun,
game.
dude. You know how much Overwatch would have been saved if they had done that.
And you know what's even funnier about the whole situation? Bungie worked directly with Blizzard when they were developing Destiny 1. So this is
Well,
probably stuff that they told them,
the
but
funnier
they did not
thing-
take to heart or learn from it.
Bungie was like aiding all these Sony studios with this live service games, and none of them worked out.
Yep.
So Bungie
That's
is far and away like one of Sony's worst acquisitions, if not the worst. Well, no,
It's-
which is
Firewalk is definitely the worst one.
so far, just because that one is an actual disaster. It's been canceled.
But then if you-
Marathon comes out, Face Plants, and with Destiny being on the downswing, I think Bungie's gonna end up topping it.
But potentially too with the fact that Bungie definitely helped Firewalk.
Oh
and-
yeah,
and that didn't
100%. They
work
had
out.
to have said something. And
which fun. Oh yeah.
what makes it like such a bigger disaster is that Destiny and Destiny 2 are a money making machine. Like you just had to run that right, and you're good to go.
You
can just keep
Destiny
pumping out shit.
2 could have been run if it could have been the 10-year game. Like I know that the first one didn't work out that way, but
Oh,
this
for
one could have
sure.
lasted forever if they just kept doing that and did not sunset content. If they didn't sunset content, I imagine it'd be like an FF14 situation right now where it's like cool, hop in whenever and just
Sure.
have all this content to play with.
Yep.
Destiny 1 easily should have been able to bin that, like Jesus Christ. But no, it's funny because some information is kind of leaked also from a lot of the behind the scenes shit with Bungie, and basically they were told that if Marathon doesn't sell 10 million, it'll be considered a failure for them.
Apparently, apparently Marathon was pitched by the good old boys of Bungie, like the old guard, and that's why just no
Yep.
one's really in on it. Disaster of an acquisition. I love them for making Halo 1 and 2. I'm still a very misconstrued person on 3. Reach is incredible. ODST is great. But alas, I think having to be under their own supervision, they just weren't able to do it. It kind of, they kind of remind me of the Russo brothers, kind of, right? Like, under the supervision of Microsoft, they were able to get Halo done and going. The Russo brothers, under the supervision of Kevin Feige, were able to pump out Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. And then they're like, all right, cool, we're great. Let's go off and go do our own things. Flop, flop, flop. Just right.
Well, see, that's the thing. Activision acquired them for a while, and that was during the heyday of Destiny. And then all of a sudden, they broke away, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's about to get so much better now. They're able to be their own bosses."
They need people above them,
No,
and
they have to have structure there.
yeah,
Yeah.
because the Bungie of old, like we're talking like Halo 1 Bungie, where they were just frat boys. Like they're just like bunch of friends just making games, and it kind of worked out. Then all of a sudden it blew the fuck up. In Halo 2, they were like dragging their feet on until Microsoft said, all right, you got 1 year. And they're like, okay. And then Halo 3, they had a little more time on, which they did better on. Reach, like they definitely started cooking. They got into Mojo. Then they left. And yeah, Activision still kept them structured enough. Then they were gone, and then Sony picked up the rubble, but they just aren't able to put it, like it's too far gone now, and there's no shot. I think they were saying that this sentiment inside the studio, especially after this we didn't even mention the whole thing, right, with the art.
Right? Yeah, that's coming.
That's
up.
the whole thing.
And the big thing too is this isn't the first time that they've stolen art.
What was the other one? I vaguely remember.
So I have to look it up again, but it was for Destiny. I think they took like designs from like a fan made like Nerf gun and used it in game or some shit like that. And there's a few other instances of like decals and logos and like fan art being used in game.
I've heard the morale inside the studio is very low, and I would assume so, right? Because there's no shot Marathon sells that well.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, you're working on this game that you probably feel like it's doomed, and so you're like working on putting all these hours into the game, being whipped over the fucking bench for this game when you know this game's gonna be DOA.
Especially
like, what are we doing?
They need to hit that home run on that alpha test, but it just did not work out.
7:02 p.m.
Thanks.
The time is not theirs.
It's just a bummer to see, because like, yeah, the leadership aside, and this is how I feel about a lot of companies. Like, I respect David for boycotting when he does. I get that. There's just a lot of other people that are just kind of like just working and trying to do their best on it, and they just supervision, or the upper management just not letting them flourish. So I always kind of feel bad on that end for any studio that's kind of going through the patches. Yeah, like fuck the leadership, but that's annoying.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, because I'd say like 80 to 90% of the studio's problems are probably upper management. Like I'm almost guarantee you there's no one that's like modeling guns. It's like, yeah, I think sunsetting XYZ is a great idea. It's like that's just not something that art.
It's just
usually when an artist makes art, they're not going to be like, yeah, let's get rid of my art, or it's not going to be seen ever.
Exactly.
It's so unfortunate how much upper management can really fuck over an entire thing, though, right? Like Suicide Squad, like that shit got fucked because it was just like a guy that just had no vision.
Yeah, like Suicide Squad and was it Multiverses, like damn near bankrupt WB Games.
It was doing so good.
Imagine not just letting the game still just fucking cook when it first came out.
Dude.
We have all the momentum in the world. Pull it.
Trade 50.
Me, pull it. Pull it.
They didn't have the
Well,
momentum. That's the thing though, is it was falling off, and they panicked though. That's the issue. Is instead of like falling off, finding a way to like to stimulus boost your entire player base, they decided to cut it back again and cut back for a year, come back worse, and then your final patch actually fixes the game, but you've already announced you're done.
So fucking funny to me. It's
Reminds
such
me,
a slap in the face, all the dedicated players.
I mentioned it in the last episode, but Gun sunsetting development sources for Texas Chainsaw.
Yep.
I am the odd
And
one
since
out where
that's their second game that they're doing that too now. Like that studio,
probably
like,
their
okay,
team.
well, I'll just never buy. Yeah, I'll just never buy a game from these people again.
that's what a lot of people
because
feel
it's
like.
not
Yeah,
gonna
because
last.
they had the audacity at the end of that statement to say, "Stay tuned for what we have coming next." And everyone's like, "No, the
No,
fuck."
go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But yeah, leading into the art part. So it came out like I think it was this last week or early this week. This artist posted on Twitter. They're like, "Hey, so it looks like Bungie took my entire portfolio from 2017 and turned it into like an asset board for."
But you know what sucks about
for
that is how
Marathon.
do you even catch that though?
Like what do
Right?
you
If
mean?
you're working for this big, you're managing like all these artists, you have to just play good faith, right? And just you're not gonna assume everyone's stealing every fucking thing they submit, right? So like, how do you in good faith just like,
Well, that's the thing. The managers were following this artist too.
oh, never mind.
Yeah, because the
It was
artist came
very
out-
easy to have them outed.
Yeah, the artist came out and said X so and so were following me at this time too, and there's still people following her to this day. So, so it's really starting to seem like a situation that the managers were like, "Hey, we like this style, take this style."
Because it
And,
reminds me of the Dead Cells review. Remember from IGN they got plagiarized?
Yep.
But it's like,
Yep.
how do you know that?
Exactly.
Are you can't? This isn't fucking high school for them, you know. It's like this is a full paying job. You can't just you don't need an AI check or plagiarism check all these fucking people because one person fucks up. But then also, I guess you have to because that royally fucks up your bottom line like big time. Like there is a world. There's a very possible world right now that artist just bankrupts Bungie, right? Like
Oh,
it
yeah, no
snowballs into
shit.
that. So one
No,
artist,
like because Bungie
potentially
has admitted
snowballs that.
fault.
yeah. So
They
they're,
have
they're
the- they
losing
have the
whatever
right-
that is. Like whatever that is, they're
Yeah.
losing that. They're losing that one with the plagiarism of the other guy's story. Like they're gonna lose all these things, and it's a very real thing that these small little things where one guy took a story here, one person took some art there, just fucks over the entire company.
And the craziest part too about the art thing is like with the art, it's so easy to take like what they could literally take this artist's art and just transform it into their own.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not hard. You change colors, change a square into a circle, and just like rotate it, and you're good to go. And that you can call that
Could
different.
copy mine, but
But-
don't make it look like you copied.
Exactly. But they literally took her assets and just
And
put
you
it
could
straight
see it
into the
too. Like there was
game.
some text on there that they just tried to erase.
Yeah, no, it's like the story of Anti-Real, which Anti-Real is the artist. It says her name on the art, and then the art that they use for Marathon still has it on there. It's like it's one of those
No,
things
the
where you just need to mark.
The funniest part was that the artist came out and said, "I've been hiding loss in my art since I started as a signature." That's how you know. And so you look at the Marathon art and there's loss.
So fucking funny.
That's so good.
Well, and the thing is, like a lot of the stuff that they're finding that's like super apparent now, it's like a 2-second change in Photoshop. It's just marquee it, paint bucket it, you're good. It covers everything up that would show like this artist's name, their tag, whatever. But they literally did the
I
bare
have the
minimum.
most honest and very what's the word, I guess, pessimistic uh observation that I might assumption I should say. Do you think this artist was someone on the younger end that has not learned quite possibly that you should not be plagiarizing like that?
There's a really good chance that it was probably like a junior artist fresh out of college or
That's what
some
I'm
shit.
saying.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
even
here-
even maybe even not even that, right? Because they don't even need to be in college. They could just make good art. But then like that's just it's because I mean like high schoolers do it. They don't realize the gravity of plagiarism quite yet. So it could just be someone that just got away with it and didn't think anything of it. Like it's not a big deal.
Sure, but
well,
with how blatant it is, with like the person's name and tag still being
And
it,
you know
that's
what? Maybe
makes me
they
think.
tried deleting some of that text too, though. So there's definitely malice behind it as
he-
well.
yeah, and we're actually at my work kind of experiencing a similar concept because we're now in the tech space. Like, oh shit, any interns we're hiring from college, they're now in the Chat GPT era of how much of your work is actually yours and how much was pulled from Chat GPT. So when we're going through and we're vetting someone's fucking online portfolio or we're talking to them, it's like, oh shit, there's a lot of people who've had to turn away because they don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about. If you just look at their portfolio, they look like rock stars and like, oh, that's because it's ChatGPT doing that. Oh, granted, my solution to it is fucking cruel and unusual, and that's because I want everyone who tries to employ for a tech position to have to build Arch from scratch, and I got called evil for that. But
No, there has to be
yeah, no,
something you can do on that, and a lot of people just they think, oh, I could use ChatGPT and get away with it because it's used more than Google at this point,
Yep.
right? Like people are instead of googling answers, they just go to ChatGPT and ask, and that just fills
Yep.
everything up for it. And I don't know, like I'm like maybe it's just because I'm kind of on top of it. I'm like I could tell. Like it's really not hard to tell when a thing is AI generated versus not.
Old Chat CBT.
So
I
annoying.
love the Chat CBT. It gets me fired on the cylinders.
But yeah, no, Bungie's really stepped in one. And like you said, this is something that's so easy if like the artist gets in touch with a lawyer that remotely knows or can understand the situation. Because Bungie is admitted fault, and this artist has it's so incredible what they've done. They went through and found like individual assets and linked their portfolio to like the individual pieces in stuff that they found on the map. So the story I heard is the artist and like some of their friends got into the game and they were just scouring maps looking for evidence of her work, and they found numerous examples and they were able to put together like a portfolio essentially of all my art that they found in the game. And it's I don't know, it's just so blatant. So if this person's out there, do not talk to Bungie. Don't take any fucking money from them. Talk to a lawyer and sue the fucking pants off these people
Yeah, because you win.
because they've
Mm,
yeah
Yeah.
they made a big post. They're talking about like, oh, I've been struggling for work, just kind of the typical artist story. It's like, this is your time. You're on the
Yeah,
come
be like,
up.
my art was good enough for Bungie to steal. Come fucking hire me.
Put that on your fucking
That or,
resume.
like, you
I
can
have
make it-
worked on Bungie's marathon.
right,
Put yourself
not
as a
only
lead
that, but, I
designer,
mean-
by the way, lead art designer.
right, yeah, head art designer, head of general aesthetic. Well, the thing is too, like, they could just take the money and just not work another day the rest of their life.
They should be getting a
Because
Yeah,
they-
solid.
depending how much they get out of it. Yeah.
Oh, they could get like there's no way that they don't get like a few million out of it, just depending on how much the lawyer is going to take off the top.
Yeah, Bungie's just like, shut the fuck up, please. Like, I'm sorry, please.
Say less, please.
But no, fuck it. Take it. Like, again, part of me feels bad because, like, yeah, the company's getting fucked over by just like by some bad decisions of a couple people. But hey, if you have a chance to get your bag and you deserve it like that, then absolutely take it. Do not fight that.
Well, not only that, but it's like it's not one little mistake. It's mistake after mistake after mistake. Like, this company has shown like they cannot handle any sort of like alone time, like you said. Like they have to have some kind of oversight, some overwatch. So they need to learn a fucking lesson from this.
Right. So
They won't.
No, they won't. But
Granted,
hopefully this does.
that
This
artist
gets some people
is going to
fired.
be blacklisted for fucking their entire life, though. So shout outs to them too.
Shout outs to their family.
Yup. What's next?
Did you see that? It's not gaming related, but did you see that the Department of Homeland Security, they're considering a reality TV show?
Bro,
that would
that
put-
actually upsets me. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're just
that pissed
like-
me the fuck off. That's insanity.
That-
Like I've heard
that's-
the joke before. They're like, "Oh, just put a Ninja Warrior course at the border," and it's like, yeah, that's stupid, right? That's silly, right? No one would do that. And then you see this, and you're like, oh my fucking god,
I bought a
we
copy
really
of
do have some
1984 the
fucking
other
idiot.
day.
Good, more relevant than ever.
Yeah, I like the.
Have you not read that yet?
I've probably read bits and pieces in high school, but it's been a hot.
Yeah, shout outs. I haven't either. For someone as privacy paranoid as I have not actually read that book yet, so I still need to get to that.
Yeah, I would say
I had to
definitely
read
do
it
that.
so many times.
That and Brave New World are ones I've not got
Yes.
on my list. I've been wanting to go back and read some more classic American literature on that. When I went through my undergrad, I did it with like a lot of early English literature, which I don't know why. I just didn't. I guess I just was not researching well enough. I would have, if I could, I'd change it back to like more American history, because that stuff resonates with me a little
Mm.
more. And yeah, that's a couple of the books I got. I got. What did I get? I thought I had them on here. Actually, I'll go on a little book tangent really quick. Let's see.
Hell yeah.
I got this. I got this nice The Art of
Sun
War.
Tzu.
Hell yeah. I got that same version.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, you know what? It's in the other room. I mentioned I got that Jeremy Renner book.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I got 1984. And fuck, I'm gonna go crazy thinking of it. I'll be right back.
All right. While he's doing that, I've actually been reading a little bit lately as well, and I've been going through East African folklore and folk tales,
That's
which has actually been hilarious. As one of the first few stories they kind of talk about in here is actually about Ugandan mermaids. And I'm like, God, that makes the whole controversy about the Little Mermaid live action even fucking dumber.
right.
There's no black mermaid. What the fuck? I'm reading a tale from Uganda right now. Like, I don't understand.
Well, not only that, but I think the whole insinuation is that Little Mermaid's supposed to happen in the Caribbean. It's like,
Which is even, yeah, that's a good
let's
point.
think here.
Wow, I mean, that's a lot of people think Jesus is white, so here we are.
Right, exactly.
Never mind where the Bible is set, but
Disney has done irreparable damage here.
I went to a thrift store that just opened up here. I found
Oh,
that for $2.50.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
This one seemed fucking nuts. Lockdown Escape from Furnace. And the back says, "Go to hell, Furnace Penitentiary, an underground hellhole, a place of pure evil with walls soaked in blood. Murders, gangs, and vicious guards rule the darkness. Horrific creatures steal people away in the dead of night, and the impossible escape is the only hope." That sounds fucking nuts. All right.
Yeah, I think that's in the splattercore genre, which I've been kind of dipping my toes into a little bit here and there.
Interesting.
It's a weird genre.
Sounds weird. So yeah, I got the Jeremy Renner book. That sounded interesting to read. Let's see. It's back in here for now. Make space, please. Thank you. Alright, I got 3 books. Yeah, so 1984. Animal Farm. That's the other one I was trying to think of.
Hell yeah.
Classic.
You guys remember reading this? Hatchet.
Yep.
No.
as a gay ass book, bro.
I've heard.
In like the in like not a derogatory way, but that book is hella gay.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of fact, okay?
I think it was a lot of awakenings for a lot of people, I think, growing up.
I
But
just remember reading it and be like, "Ugh, this is kind of weird."
I remember it, but I don't remember the context. I remember like liking it, but also thinking it was very weird. So I wanted to go back and actually reread it now and just see what it was. Same with like Lord of the Flies, I want to reread.
Yes.
But yeah, that was definitely one of the things I've heard from someone. They were like, yeah, that was my gay awakening. And I don't really remember the context of that or what. I remember like vaguely being like, but I don't remember the context of what was the
It was
rest.
just like it was just really detailed descriptions of the dude's like body.
Was it?
It was just like I'd have to find like exact.
I'm
like,
sure I'll
terminology and-
find it.
But it was very homoerotic is the thing. It's like it wasn't
Yeah,
overtly
very.
like gay, but it was gay.
Okay.
Yeah,
See, I
very
remember just 'cause I thought it was
homoerotic,
being,
for
I,
sure.
I thought it was badass. You survive a plane crash and you just fucking make it out in out of the wilderness all on your own. You come back to it. I thought it was badass.
And then he kisses penises with another man.
They docked.
The
okay?
end.
So I'm curious now, I guess, where that goes. I just remember him being a badass in that end, but hey, this is also like
Oh, he was a badass at an end, all right.
this had to have been like 22 to 25 years ago. I feel like probably at this point that I've read something like that. So
Right.
interesting. Anyway, yeah, I grabbed those books. 1984, very relevant. So excited to read that one.
It's kind of scary how relevant it is. How it just comes back around like that.
It always comes back around. And that's what happened when I heard about that game show. That's what I thought of for me. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get that book. Winner.
Another controversy is Epic. Fortnite's using an AI Darth Vader voice. And it's
Yeah.
been saying like slurs and stuff.
Darth Vader would though.
It's like there's a like I forgot what the context was, but someone asked Darth Vader what he thought of Hispanics. And he said Hispanics make for great smugglers.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And then
Adrian, can you confirm or deny?
Okay, I'll deny that.
and it was like something else, like they got him to cuss and say like some other shit, but it's always just like some really out of pocket random stuff. But the big deal is like apparently before his passing, James Earl Jones like made some kind of deal to pretty much
Yes.
his voice can be used for AI generation for Darth Vader. The big thing is he's not the only fucking voice actor for Darth Vader. He's not even the actual actor for Darth Vader. He's just someone that played the voice during the 3 movies and got really fucking famous for it. And now he's just stepping on everyone else. Because
Yeah,
there's
which
a
is
guy-
the whole. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a guy that's been playing Darth Vader in video games since '94, and he's been the Darth Vader. Like he's played him up in his most recent one was for Jedi Survivor, just like 2 years ago. And this poor guy is now potentially out of a job because who in their right mind is going to pay him his premium amount for doing his job when they can just go grab a voice program that has James Earl Jones already loaded onto it and they just type whatever the fuck he wants them to say.
Yeah, which is part of the whole major point of SAG-AFTRA's lawsuit is like there's people at the ready who are noted for being Darth Vader voices, and you went with an AI here.
You went with an AI here, and James Earl Jones was still a member of SAG-AFTRA. That's the big thing too.
Yep.
Like, sure, he can sell that off, but he's undercutting like every other union member at the same time. So SAG-AFTRA kind of has a foot to stand on here, even though they are kind of shitheads in other areas.
Yeah, SAG-AFTRA's not. I mean, it's the case of any union. Like, it's
Right.
the unfortunate beast of it is it's better to have a union than not. But,
Right.
however, doesn't mean that they don't invest in their own interests either.
For sure, you have people that always want the best for them. There's people that are making money through it. But yeah, it's just super silly. And the whole thing is like I'm pretty sure too, Epic has come out and said some stuff like against the use of AI generation. And now it's
Yep,
just like, oh, so you're just cool with it now? Why?
Because of money.
because it saves them money.
Right.
Because I mean, hey, those licensing fees aren't going to pay for themselves. They got to cut corners where they can. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
and how many other games can you play Naruto fighting Darth Vader? Let's be honest.
It's very true.
Smash Brothers, the next one.
Yeah, well,
What do you
Smash
think we're
Brothers doesn't
actually
have
going to
Sabrina
get for the?
Carpenter, so
I still, that's the one thing I am excited about with the Switch 2 is now that we're looking towards what a new Smash Brothers could potentially be. I'm fascinated to see where they go with that.
well, speaking of Switch 2, like didn't they also just confirm that Cyberpunk is running 30 FPS 4K
Yeah.
like on the Switch 2? So they have there's so much shit that they could do potentially for Smash on the Switch 2. It's insane.
Right.
That's CD Projekt Red once again showing other developers what you can do with fucking hardware.
Yeah, all on cart, fucking running smooth. Fuck yes. It only took them like a few years after launch, but hey, we don't talk about that. We've
No,
been through
better late
enough.
than never.
Right, they're fixing their shit and they know they did wrong.
What a world.
Exasperation.
What a world we live in right now. I don't know, man. Shit sucks sometimes.
Yeah, the sad thing is, like, even looking at the Switch 2, I even if I were to fucking get it at launch, I'm sitting here thinking, like, the only thing I'd bother fucking playing is, like, upgraded versions of Switch 1 games I already have.
Well, I mean,
Like,
I'm
that's the
excited.
only thing I'd fucking use it for.
I'm super excited for that, though, in general, because, like, I've been wanting to replay Breath of the Wild. I never even got through Tears of the Kingdom. Now it's like an
Same.
excuse for me to go through all those games that were, like, choppy as fuck. Like
Yeah, play them at actual frame rates.
Pokemon Legends, going through, like, Scarlet Violet, like, finally go through that and play them at decent. So that, like, yeah, there's not gonna be that many games at launch. There never really is for a lot of these titles. I'm gonna play Mario Kart, of course, but really, it's like, all right, cool. Now is my excuse to play these backlog games.
Well, not even so much that it's just not at launch. There's just nothing that I would want to physically buy because nothing is actually fucking physical at launch aside from fucking Cyberpunk
And Mario Kart, right?
and
Yeah,
Mario
Mario
Kart,
Kart.
technically, yeah.
Nintendo games are gonna get away with that.
Well,
Metroid
Nintendo games are gonna have an
probably.
asterisk because a lot of them are gonna be still just here's the Switch 1 version and then your upgrade to the Switch 2 version.
I don't know.
Which I honestly kind of like that, especially if like I can take my Tears of the Kingdom, put it into the Switch 2, and it works just fine. But I just have to pay like $10 for a key or something.
Yeah. I like it for that reason. And I mean, it's going to be one of those things like I'll buy Pokemon Legends ZA when that comes out. And that'll probably end up being my first actual Switch 2, actual air quote Switch 2 game. But it's just because it's just a Switch 1 cartridge with a digital upgrade to the Switch 2 version. So I can still throw it on my Switch 1 if I haven't caved and gotten a fucking Switch 2 at that point.
Right. That's just my plan. I might actually end up getting Cyberpunk as well because I kind of want to play that, but on a handheld.
Yeah, and I just haven't played the DLC either, so it's like, oh, perfect chance.
Right.
Perfect reason to do it.
There you go.
I haven't played it since launch. Like, I had little to no issues with it. Like, no like game breaking bugs. Nothing looked funky or terrible. So I played through it, had fun. Haven't touched it since. And then they did the big 2.0 or whatever, and haven't played it. So Switch.
Yeah,
2,
that
it's your time, baby.
I have like 5 hours in the game, and it's me continuously retrying to get past the tutorial segment and just not having the energy for it every time. Like I just always pick the wrong time to try and play it is the problem.
For sure. I feel that.
I was gonna get myself a Zen Grip 2 for the Switch because I still don't want to deal with holding it the way it is. I missed 20% off, but there's 15% off, which I can grab right now. Anyway, I think is that it? Short, sweet episode this week.
That's it.
I
Yeah.
think those are all the big ones.
Hell yeah. Let me
I've seen
double
anything
check
that
one
stays
last
on Twitter.
time. Let's see.
Oh yeah, we got screenshots for Kingdom Hearts 4 last week too.
Yeah, we did. Game's looking fucking crispy. Also, the Kingdom Hearts mobile game got canceled.
Yep, forgot about that one too.
Fortnite is back on the Apple Store.
No, it's not yet.
It just came
Apple
back, didn't it?
blocked it.
I thought,
Well, it was supposed to, but Apple blocked it again, so now they're going back to court over it.
I saw Warrior 64 posted just recently.
Absolute cancer either way.
Okay, yeah, 1 hour ago.
Yeah, it just came back.
Yeah, because I remember earlier this week or late last week, I think it was Thursday actually. It was supposed to go back on, but they blocked it, and they're like, "All right, here we go again."
Aw, shit, here we go again.
5 years it hasn't been on there. That's kind of crazy.
It has been.
I didn't realize it's been that long.
Yep. Damn, Final Fantasy. Oh, did you get integrated yet, Kels?
No, I didn't. I still need to grab that.
$40 on Amazon right now.
Oh shit!
Yep, go do that. Let's see. All right. Oh, whoops! I was looking that up. That's what I was doing. Ex Bungie Deb says Marathon leadership was extremely toxic and humiliating to work with. Bungie leadership needs to be gutted completely. I agree. Don't even work there, and I agree.
Yeah, no shit. Anyone on the outside looking in can tell you.
Yup.
I don't know. As someone that's worked at a toxic company before, I can look at toxic companies and be like, "Yep, that's toxic."
As a teacher who deals with that a lot in general, yep, that's toxic.
It's like, yeah, that looks fucking terrible.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it.
All right, gentlemen. I think that's it. We are wrapped.
I do be wrapped.
Wrap it up.
Always.
Always wrap it.
All right.
And firmly grasp it.
Firmly grasp it. Anyway, thanks for listening to the Blueberries Podcast. David, send us out.
Fuck the police.
They say something different.
Coming straight
You're a
from the
broken record.
underground.
You're a fucking broken record. Shut up.
I can't even see your face right now. Your face is blown out right now.
Blame Nintendo.
Sure.
God.
No, it's Nintendo's fault because I guess they got new icon packs and I'm redeeming them real quick.
Interesting.
Yes. All right, I'll send out with something different. Don't forget to unsubscribe from Mr. Beast. Enjoy your day.
And dislike it while you're at it.
Be sure
like
to
the
like,
video,
comment,
unsubscribe.
subscribe, and copyright strike.
It'll really help us out. All right. All right. Stream. Adios.
See ya. Bye, stream.
Bye, Trey 50.